guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Kyuujin, and today we're back with you for The Sopranos, Season 3, Episode 2.
Last episode was from the Fed's POV, and we saw what they were doing to get into Tony's house and place a mic in the basement, where he thinks he's safe and he talks about business sometimes.
Not anymore.
Because they don't have pussy anymore, right? So they have to do shit. And yeah, the mic has been placed successfully, so we'll be stressing about this the whole season until it blows up.
Just like the water eater.
Yeah, just like that. Meadows in college, so that's good. AJ's smoking with his buddies and skipping class.
Trying football.
Yes, he's playing football, so that's cool. And the twin brother,
Patsy,
from last season, knows deep down who's responsible for the death of his brother. And he almost killed Tony last episode, but he stopped himself, regretted. I mean, he chose not to do it, pissed in the pool, and then left. Both himself and Tony know that this is a tense situation and that there's knowledge of what happened to the twin. They're not doing anything about it yet, except maybe remembering the guy that you've got kids to take care of, right?
Yes, so stay put.
Yeah, but this is, so far he's saying he's put the death of his brother behind him, but I am a bit afraid that it'll break eventually. So this is another thing we have to keep our eye on this season. But yeah, this is pretty much where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these, and check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions.
Alright, let's go.
Nobody ever puts it back.
Oh, but
Wow.
they did say they were fearing violence with the garbage stuff.
Yep. Second firebomb and sanitation war. Retaliation expected.
Violence expected.
Retaliation expected.
Whoa!
Oh my
Cut
God.
himself too.
Tony.
Unless he was drinking. Okay.
Oh my God, Tony. Are you all right?
Uncle Ben.
What happened?
Oh, I love. They come up with new stuff all the time. I love this. We're going far back, man.
I'll be ready to bolt in a sec.
Mr. Soprano?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Noah Tannenbaum. Appreciate you letting us screen here. You a film buff? People say Hawks invented the genre with Scarface, but Cagney was.
Not that much of a buff, I think.
Cagney was not, so I give the nod to William Wellman.
No, I'm just gonna grab the Bare Naked Lady CD and then let's hit the road.
Last year, this course was being offered. Images of hyper-capitalist self-advancement in the era of the studio system.
So you guys,
College has very specific courses.
you,
A little early to say.
Careful what you say. He's her dad. He's very protective.
I'm from Los Angeles. My dad is Jewish and my mother's family is African-American.
Tannenbaum, right. But on your application to Columbia, you didn't check Jewish, did you?
No,
What'd you check?
African-American.
So we do understand each other here. You're, Ditsun.
Excuse me?
Charcoal briquette.
What's your problem?
I think you know what my problem is.
Stay away from my daughter.
She didn't do you any favors bringing you into this house. Now, I don't know what the fuck she was thinking. We'll get to that later. See, I got business associates who are black, and they don't want my son with their daughters, and I don't want their sons with mine.
Dude!
You.
So when my little girl comes down the stairs, you're gonna say how nice it was to meet me. Then you're gonna go drop her off at school, and you're gonna say goodbye.
And that's without the mafia stuff that you probably don't know about. He said Uncle Ben is the reason why. Why? Because there's a black guy on the box? What freaked him
I
out?
don't got time for these fucking attacks.
If you didn't instigate things,
I instigate?
he's just a new friend, Tony. Keep playing the race card. You're gonna drive her right into his arms.
Not if I cut off those fucking arms.
Hey,
Stop
dude!
it.
Is that really what freaked him out? Lack of control?
I should call Cusimano. You might need stitches.
What am
I thought it was like
No, it
Jews,
is
What
but
my old man would do?
Look who comes.
Well, actually, I'm standing here in front of you. Hey, brought you the horse whisperer and Omerta.
Well, what's wrong?
What, are you gonna freak out every time I try to do something nice for you?
well, considering last season, I'm surprised too. Maybe it's because he cannot have her say anything about him. Hence the horse whisperer and
My mother
Omerta.
gave me one of these for each of the kids when they were born. Supposed to fill these out. 20 years, fat fucking nothing.
I don't like that kind of talk.
Carmel's my return these books to the kids filled with memories. You can't write stuff down from your life for your grandkids?
It's none of anybody's business.
She will do it. It's good for her. She realized that.
Why do anything if there's not something in it for her? Well, listen up. I want you to concentrate. Remember the airline tickets?
It's literally why he's here. He needs to keep her, silent.
What did you tell them when you were in the lockup?
Whoa, what did I do?
They're trying to build a RICO case against me.
She's been filmed on a blue screen or something, right?
The only reason they let you go is to get your cooperation.
This is a bit weird.
It's like the Uncanny Valley a bit.
I never stated those tickets were stolen, capiche? Now, Barb will testify I didn't say it, but you gotta back her up.
It's giving me like Little Men movies.
Keep your mouth shut.
Oh no, they put her head on somebody's body.
Yeah, I didn't speak to you. Maybe I should have kept it that way.
It's weird, right?
This is weird. Was she not available for the scene?
I guess. But it is weird. So he needs to keep her silent because they're still looking into that. They mentioned last episode that she could testify and she would do it, knowing her.
Did you say something to Noah?
No.
Smart, you'll keep walking down those stairs.
What did you say? He was all quiet at Hunter. She thinks he's a snob, and now he's just sitting out in the car.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Maybe if I say it in Swahili.
Dude. Then again, some people are still like that today, right? Even worse, so can't say I'm that surprised.
What?
Your mother died.
You're kidding.
What?
Really?
Svetlana just called. After dinner, your mother went upstairs to get ready for bed. Your mother was under the covers in her nightgown. Svetlana thought she was asleep.
Whoa.
Oh, maybe the actress died for real.
Oh, well. But then how would they have, well, they could have reused old stuff, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll look into this.
Svetlana's waiting for us over there.
She's dead.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Like, despite all the shit, she was still his mom.
Still his mom.
Hey, your grandmother loved you. She loved both you two. Very much.
You think that she filled out the
Right before? If she did, man, it's gonna get emotional.
I hope she did.
What about the cause of death? Did they say?
Massive stroke.
Yeah.
She will not be finishing journal.
A journal?
Those Granny Remembers books you bought her when the kids were born. She never touched them.
It'd be a small mercy, maybe, if she left something good behind, because the whole time we've known her, it's been bad and bad and bad. And it's gonna be conflicting for Tony because he has such resentment and bad feelings with her, and still he will care.
It will never get resolved in the end.
PROSHAI, Livushka.
Title of the episode.
Goodbye, little Livia.
And that's why it's in Russian, because it would have spoiled it.
Spoiler alert.
I can imagine how you feel. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Kind of like with his father, it's hard to blame someone who's dead. It's hard to hate someone who's dead.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
There's nothing to say. She did try to kill him, so moving on.
How's Tony taking?
Oh, what the fuck?
Bad.
Fucking bitch!
What do I tell my kids when their own aunt won't even come to a funeral?
Janice won't show up. Too much like bad memories here. I'm not gonna come back.
You're not coming to your own mother's fucking funeral?
Can you really blame her?
You may recall, Tony, that I have very good and valid reasons why I should not present myself in the state of New Jersey.
That case is colder than your tit. It'd do you good to show up here at this point. You just don't want to get your ass out of whatever chair it's in. She didn't even want a funeral, Janice, but can't you come sit with your family during this stressful time?
You can just get on the plane before us working folk.
Oh, listen to this. What do you got over here? All right, fuck it. I'll pay it.
Can I bring my fiance?
Fuck that.
Another one?
One seat. And if you don't show up, let me tell you right now, don't come breezing in here when it comes time to carve up the estate. I know you think Ma's got money buried in the house.
You wanted that money, it is true. I'm all for supporting your family in tough times, but I'm also all for not showing up to someone's funeral who hated you and treated you like this and didn't give a shit about you. Considering how they parted,
Yeah.
like even Tony would have a good reason not to show up, but it's how they were raised, it's about respect and...
Well, listen, Ma, I came over to give you something. Here, take this.
That will bring memories.
We don't want your money. I'm taking care of Ma. Money don't mean nothing to me. No, I guess not. With no heart and no brains, it's all you've got. You'll need it.
Tommy.
The fact that he's called Tommy, he's called Tony. Are you finding similarities in that with your life, buddy?
His mother died last night.
Oh, shit.
Maybe it'd start feeling like you're watching a sitcom or something and you'd get close to these guys. Like I said, they need to separate themselves from him, but sometimes maybe it'd be hard.
I'm so sorry to hear.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know how you feel. We lost Mom last year.
Well, Ralphie, I need to talk to you, and, Albert.
Come out. She's gone.
Oh no. You didn't sound that sad on the phone.
Now it's time to act.
She's the type of girl that needs attention and
Oh, yeah.
she needs all eyes on her. So when she shows up here, of course she's gonna start crying and be like,
What's the matter with you? Both of you. We're in the newspapers every fucking week with this shit.
My crew is in line for the Raritan Township contract. This guy over there keeps whispering Albert.
You what? Who's crew? You're a captain, Ralphie, when I say you're a captain.
Oh.
And I'm gonna turn up my hearing aid so I don't miss it.
Are you gonna get cute with me?
Raritan Township, the recycling manager over there, he knows who's in line for that contract. But he keeps playing footsie with Albert. The next minute, he's threatening to go to the EPA, bust us all.
He said that? I fix it. No more fires.
too much attention put on them when they do shit like this. I don't know if they'll listen.
She didn't want any service of any kind.
I find it hard to accept. I do know what Mom's wishes were, but not to have a wake or a funeral. It makes us look like we're unloving children, not to mention cheapskates.
The woman expressed her wishes.
I wish to honor my mother.
You didn't want to be
I can say
here.
right now that I'm not gonna say. What, you think we should do something now?
When she was young, she used to picture her funeral.
All right, fine. You want to do something? Let's just do it.
She was depressed back then, too.
I want you to know, Tony, that this all won't fall on you. One thing that I'd like to suggest, at the house, everyone gathers and each one can voice a remembrance or a feeling about Mom.
I don't want any of that California
Anxiety.
bullshit. People can drink, they can eat some gorgonzola, they want to yak about Mom, that's their business.
Welcome back, Jennifer. We need you.
No, I'm sorry. My condolences, none.
She knows how you feel about Livia.
All right, here's the thing. I'm glad she's dead. Not just glad, I wished she'd die. When I heard she was dead, relief flooded into my veins.
But did you feel guilty about it?
Your mother died.
Might have felt guilty about it.
I mean, is that right? Wishing her dead? Is that being a good son?
A good son?
She tried to kill
Good
you.
son. I mean, bad sons, they should fucking die. That's a fucking miserable, disgusting thing to be, a bad son.
Yeah, but when the mother's at fault for treating you badly, you react the way you react. You don't owe her respect or support if she throws you away.
Why the fuck should I be a good son to that fucking demented old man?
He's
that
so
fucking
conflicted.
selfish, miserable cunt. She ruined my father's life.
What did she do to you?
Come on, that's a matter of public record in here. We both know.
We've
You
been
don't
through
like to
this.
say it, do you? You're letting her off.
Uncle
Because she's
denied
dead.
that she took part.
Your uncle loves you.
I never said he didn't. So we're probably done here, right?
The issue's away, I'm done.
It's not because she's dead that the issue are not there anymore.
Yeah.
You're still gonna be affected by
Tony
them.
Soprano's mother's wake is tonight. Want me to wear a wire?
Why not? You need batteries? Let's go right over here to Office Depot.
More wires, more like crossing, people, and it's never gonna be over. This is their universe, but still.
She's trying to find the cash.
I'm downstairs.
I'm just thinking about Mom.
This is fucking weird.
What?
None of my childhood schoolwork or artwork or anything for that matter is here anymore, and nor Barb's.
Get the fuck out of here.
Only Tony's?
Anthony Soprano. Why Fear Strikes Out by Jim Purcell is a good book.
That's not gonna help his confliction.
That she kept his stuff but not his
What are you
sister's?
talking about? Here's Barbara's communion certificate. Here's her baby shoe.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing of mine.
Sometimes with people like Livia, there's an anger towards daughters. Like there's like, oh, that is the actress when she was young. That's cool. It does feel like a memorial for the actress. But yeah, maybe she had more resentment or more like competition going with her daughters, and with Tony it was different, but it ended up being like a shit show.
I met your mom once or twice. That was a proud Newarker.
Oh, hey.
They don't know what to say about
Nice to
her.
meet you, Tony. We talked about this day, did we not?
You know, State Assemblyman Zellman, right? From the 8th Ward?
Yes, we go way back. How are you, Assemblyman? Reverend?
And she does not understand why respect that guy but not Noah.
You all right?
They're dropping like fucking flies.
It's all that charcoal broiled meat you people ate.
Nobody told us till the 80s.
I'm kidding you, you old fuck. What's the matter with you?
Nobody told us until the 80s.
Rafi Seferetto. He got word to me. He wants to bump up the captain.
Careful what you say, there's a wire in here.
Rafi's whipped Richie's crew into shape over there.
And 3 months ago, by you, the rat bastard was the second fucking coming. Why do you do this to me?
Because I'm the boss of this family. You forget.
I forget nothing. I'm on the street. That's the arrangement.
Thank you for coming in.
I'm worried, man. He's right there. He said no more explosions, so they're just gonna take bats to him?
But he said take care of it.
No fires.
I guess he said no fires.
Never said anything about baseball, but
it's still bringing attention to the issue. I don't think that's what he meant. Their pride gets, you know, clipped and broken and they make mistakes. We had Richie last season. We're done with this.
We're not going to be needing your services anymore, obviously. I'll be moving into the house. So if you could just get your stuff out of there by this weekend, I think that would be...
So you're coming back just like that?
Tony says I can continue situation till Bill and me find house.
See, Tony should have consulted me first.
Fuck off, Janice. Because she's still looking for the money.
Janice.
Kind of extensive record collection. Do you know where they are?
She gave to me those records.
But those are my mother's records.
She gave those to her.
You just want the goods.
I feel I have to respect her wishes.
Oh, come on. This is just about you bogarting those discs for your ass.
Oh,
Janice, shut up.
I want the entire discography back at the house by this weekend.
Fuck off. Don't be intimidated. She did kill a guy, but don't get intimidated by her.
I'm pretty sure that the Russian girl can bite also.
Oh, what's the matter?
After what my son did to you, how can I look you in the face?
What did he do now?
You don't blame him for setting the fire?
Buddy.
He's thinking about it.
Yeah? Why are we bringing this back? I thought we were past this. I don't want an issue with him.
But he already knows about the fire, though.
I know, but he chose to trust Tony's word that Livia had gone senile and she didn't know what she was saying.
Comes to a point in the service where the rabbi is supposed to extol the virtues of the deceased. The rabbi says, you all knew him. You say something good about him. Dead silence. Finally, a voice from the back. His brother was worse.
But that sounds like something you could say to Livia's funeral. Tony passes. He leaves.
This is a survivor show. Somebody should find the winner, stick a pistol in the face, and say, you're not gonna survive this.
You saw pussy in the mirror? A lot of death, a lot of ghosts.
Everyone, please, may I have your
Oh, Janice, what are you doing?
Talking about her mom. It feels so fake. None more fake than the one leading the movement.
Most of you will probably remember that this was her favorite song. I thought it might help us get rolling.
It's like the joke. No one knows what to say. Even Janice, who started this, doesn't know what to say.
I mean, Livia was a piece of work.
What the fuck?
Is that the guy with the wire, though?
I don't think so.
Herman? Rapkin?
No, don't put me on the spot.
I guess what struck me most was she didn't mince words.
No, she didn't.
For sure it didn't.
Brain and mouth, there was no interlocutor.
When I was a child, my mother didn't let me rest on those laurels. She didn't flatter me. She believed that wildflowers blossom best among the rocks.
She made it hell, is what she's saying.
She was tough, but she was right.
Artie's not doing good with everything.
She's the reason I make...
He's not
What's
doing
up?
good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Is he regretting how he disregarded what she said? Which would bring
So
back
Tom,
issues?
she's dead. I guess our little secret dies with her.
Oh boy, you're bringing back old shit.
Hey, pick that up.
What am I doing out here? Everybody's in there telling stories of her. I got a beaut.
Artie, don't talk about that.
The shit's about to come out.
This is such a crock of shit.
Thanks, Carmela.
evading and smiling over a woman that we all know was terribly dysfunctional.
Carmela, be quiet.
She's drunk.
Let her talk, goddammit. Get down, now I'll speak if I want. Goddammit, who are you?
The truth is being told.
Suffered for years under the yoke of that woman. Years. Just
Say
saves
it.
us from our own door.
It's true.
No, don't hand me that. Bullshit.
We all know it.
This is a woman who didn't want a funeral. Her children, you ignored her wishes. Only after she's dead, by the way. She didn't want a remembrance of any kind. Why? She didn't think anybody would come.
Maybe.
She wouldn't write down her memories for her grandchildren because she figured nobody loved her enough to read them. She knew there was a problem.
Saying it like that makes it really sad. In a way.
There's desserts in the dining room if anybody wants some.
And they're all from Vesuvio.
Awkward.
Marketing.
I mean, you need to make some publicity when you can,
when
right?
you can.
You're my baby. You're going to get well and strong together again.
Yeah.
He's so much thinking about his mom.
What they could have had and what they never had. But the worst is he's the one feeling bad about it, but it's not his fault if it went to shit.
They're bringing Tom home.
They are when?
Right now, he's on his way.
Oh, it's wonderful. I knew my baby would come home.
Like what his mom could have been. Whoa.
Let it out.
Yeah. I think he's grieving for what could have been. He's grieving for the idea of Livia. Because what she ended up being, and even if you go back, because it's easy to forget when you're Tony with the culture and how he was raised, it's easy to put in the past the abuse and how things went wrong to excuse the stuff that was done because they didn't have it easy and she did everything she could. It's harder to push away the stuff she's done recently, right? But you could be like, oh, it wasn't her fault, right? She knew something was wrong. She was sick. Like, there are so many conflicting emotions. But we know Livia's been a problem since the beginning. She had issues and she passed them on to her kids. She made it really hard for them. They have every reason not to grieve her, but she's their mother. They forgave her. They excused her so many years. In the end, it was harder, but still those feelings are not completely gone. With her being dead.
But it's also the fact that after a very long time, all the issues, all the problems, all the arguing, the insult, you think that my mother doesn't love me, she's treating me so badly, but at the end you look and you see that she kept all of your school work that you did when you were in your childhood.
Yours, not your sister's.
Yours, not your sister's. So it makes you think that was I wrong? Did she love me as her son despite everything?
Like in the movie and stuff, it's like, he gets to come back home and we'll be together again, and she's so happy.
But no, in the movie he's dead.
But the mother is like, he's coming back and everything. It's the what could have been, but maybe he's thinking like, if I had done things differently, if I'd come back home, if I'd been there for her. But that is Tony's guilt and his love for his mom and all the confusing stuff talking, because that's, like I said, we know, we're from the outside. We've seen the abuse even back in the day in his flashbacks. We know how she treated him. We know he's done a lot for her and he's tried to give her a better life, and he's tried to be there for her. In season 1, he was visiting all the time and he was bringing her new things. He was trying to make her happy. She rejected all of that. But considering the culture, considering, Italian American way of seeing like the mother and placing her on the pedestal and respecting her and stuff, he would have thought, and just Tony, asked Tony, right? He would have thought he wasn't making enough efforts. He would have thought it was his fault. She is not to be blamed for this. It's only with Jennifer's approach of the situation and her insight that he started realizing that no, something was wrong with Livia and it's not necessarily his fault. But now that she's dead, like I said in the episode, it's hard to hate someone who's gone.
Just like with his father, I mean, he told his mother that when my father was alive, she insulted him, she was against him at every single point. But when he's dead, it's like the sunshine was coming out of his ass, you know?
I think like Livia was doing that because that was a way to get sympathy. Tony might be doing that because like now that she's dead, there's no target to aim at, and there's no chance for making up after, right? Like there's no chance for a happy ending.
Those issues will never get resolved in a way.
Yeah, so it's kind of like beating a dead dog, right? Like it's just adding more dark emotions. He was saying to Jennifer, we're done here, right? Like she's dead. Those emotions won't go away because she's dead. If anything, it'll get worse. It's just that for him, it's like there's no reason to still be angry because she's gone. So now he only gets to reflect to, you know, on the what if, on I should have made good with her because now I can't. Except he'll feel conflicted because those dark emotions are not gone. So he will both, like he said, like he jumped from like I was a bad son and I shouldn't have been like that. Like I deserve, like bad sons deserve to die and blah blah blah. Speaking of himself, and then he switches to that's what she deserved, a bad son, because she was a bad mother. Like there are two versions of him right now. Like the one that still loved his mom and wished for a happy ending, and the one that rejected her because of the shit she did, and the one that was angry and will never get a happy ending there either. It's just when death happens and you have unresolved conflict, it's already hard enough, but with Livia, it's even worse. I don't know if it's because the actress died.
I'm sure it's because she died.
Considering
she was on a green screen, so they put her head on somebody else's body.
Yeah,
so,
it could have been that since it was just for that, the actress couldn't show up or whatever, but it would make sense. I don't know, you guys will probably tell us or I'll look it up online, but it came out of nowhere, but that's usually what happens with death. You don't plan for it, right? And especially in this business, it can happen whenever.
True.
In her case, it was like natural causes, but...
Yeah. Not understand why someone was smirking when we said that, oh, Jenny's gonna be back in 10 years. Not understand why.
Well, in a way, I'm happy because...
She's gonna be a problem once again.
Yeah, well, she's gonna be looking for that money, right? She wanted to be given it by the lawyer, but now, like, I don't really know what Livia wrote in her will, and it looks like she, despite what she was doing and what she was saying, she kept Tony's memorial, memories and stuff. So that means maybe she gave everything to Tony because she cared more about him than the other two, which would fucking suck, but she's gonna get worried. So maybe she thinks if she can find the money and run away with it.
Maybe you were right. Maybe she saw her daughters as competition.
I was trying to explain it better in the episode, but yeah, sometimes it happens, with some women, like when they become mothers and they have issues like mentally or just they're not happy in their life, they start seeing their daughters as competition, or they see like a reflection of themselves in them and they treat them harshly compared to sons.
Usually what I can remember is the fact that some parents would try to make their children like them but better, like what they were not able to achieve in their lifetime.
It depends on the mother. Like with Livia, the way Carmela was saying, like she knew, like she didn't want funerals and stuff. She knew there was an issue. She was afraid no one was gonna come. Maybe she saw like her daughters as herself, and she hated who she was. She hated her life. She hated herself, and because of that, she hated her daughters. Tony would have been a reflection of her husband, which, I mean, would explain why she would push Tony away, but maybe that was different. She did love their father at one point, so that, and I mean, he's her only son, so the relationship would have been different. But yeah,
wasn't Tony the youngest also?
I think he was the youngest, yeah. But still,
there's a special place for the baby of the family.
Yeah, and like I said, him being the only son maybe would explain the change in dynamic, or just she like I said, she saw herself in her daughter, Janice especially, and she just never connected. Like she just resented that, or maybe it's about like when their father started using the girls to have an alibi or to just have a cover whenever he'd do stuff, the attention he would give the daughters, she got jealous of that. Like all reasons are possible. It's hard to say with Livia but it would hurt as her daughter, like especially considering that it wasn't easy to live with her to begin with. And even though Janice had her bad reasons for sticking around Livia, she was there for her last season, right? So she took care of her in a way, even though she had ulterior motives and stuff.
She still does.
And I mean, Janice is a hypocrite through and through. She didn't want to show up. So when Tony forced her, as soon as she comes, to the house, it's all about her, right? She's so sad and blah, blah, blah. Like I think it's because she intends to find that money and take it for herself and take advantage of it. But if she does that and doesn't show people that she's so sad and she cares, people can be like, you're taking advantage of this, like you're a horrible person. Right? It's kind of like she feels like she needs to prove people that she deserves that money when she doesn't.
I loved my mother. I'm entitled to her house. I'm entitled to her disc collection. Some of them were mid-condition, and I'm entitled to her good fortune also.
Like she, kind of like Janice constantly Livia constantly needed to be like, oh, you hurt me, you treat me badly, because she could never do anything wrong. Well, Janice needs to justify her wanting that money, wanting that collection. She wants it for the money, but in the eye of everyone else, she needs to be the saint, right? That she can do no wrong. She loved her mother the most, but that's not true. Tony, though, Tony has been doing the most when it comes to Livia. He's been, putting up with her. He's been going through this shit. Even after she tried to kill him, he did his best, and he's going to be beating himself up the most out of the three, I feel, after this, telling him too that she kept his souvenirs and stuff, and he's watching the movie. He's gonna be thinking, what if my mom cared about me? Like, what if I didn't do enough? What if she was waiting for me to come home?
Was I at fault for everything that happened, for the way that she acted towards me? Some children will think about that. Will believe that everything that happened is because they are at fault. And it is not the case.
It's not the case, but now that she's gone, there's not going to be an answer to this grief. So since Tony will never have closure with his mom, all that's left are the what ifs, what could I have done better, or like how did she truly think of me, and how was she truly behind all this, the illness and whatever. So he will be grieving her, and that will be clashing with his hatred and his anger, and it's not gonna leave him. It's gonna be another ghost, which in this episode they've been showing ghosts everywhere. We literally saw Pussy in the mirror when he opened the door. So it's another what if. It's another situation that he'll never really get closure with. It's adding a ghost to his package. The sad part is it's not his fault, but it's hard to accept that.
Do you think that because you're talking about ghosts like pussies, and Tony is responsible for Pussy's death?
Well, this episode I think was about regret.
Yeah, but you think that he believes that he's responsible for his mom's death, for the stroke, because he put
stress on her
with too much stress, like with the tickets and the fact that he doesn't want her to testify against him and stuff?
I don't know. I don't know if it goes that deep. I feel like it's more about guilt for how he acted with her and how their relationship ended. Because he's looking at the movie and the relationship between a caring, loving mother and his son who's going through through shit, and he's going through hard times, and she's there for him, fluffing the pillows and everything. I think he wishes it would have been like that, and he will never really know who to blame for it. And it's going to be hard blaming his mom because she's gone, right?
Yeah.
So Jennifer needs to work on that with him, for sure.
He needs to open up for that, though.
Who was that guy who was wearing the wire during the funerals? I thought he looked like a captain, but I don't really... I'm bad with names, but recently I've been bad with faces too, apparently. There's a lot of characters in Sopranos. It's hard to keep up.
Like you said, Tony has a lot of captains, a lot of street crews, street members.
And by the way, we were done with Richie's attitude and not listening to Tony. We don't need other captains that do shit because they can. They're technically following what Tony said. But
he said no fire.
He said, yeah, but still, he said he wants this to be over. He doesn't want the focus to be on the world, the garbage stuff, and they're not helping him with that. So You gotta be careful, you guys. But yeah, they're doing some shit, and now there's another guy in their midst who's wearing wires. Like, so who was that guy? I'll need to look it up because I don't remember. But if he's a guy that's on the inside, that's another possible threat. But it's never gonna end. That's the whole problem with their business. There's always gonna be shit. Still, I didn't like you, but R.I.P. Livia. And I'm not going to be missing you, but I will be missing the drama that you bring. And I do grieve. I do grieve. The cat is playing around. I do grieve for Tony and Barbara. I don't really grieve for Janice because I don't think she cares. As is her right, but she's taking advantage of the situation. Still, that's going to be it for this episode. We're going to go take care of him because he's getting on our nerves. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be out on YouTube next week. So we're gonna see you then, guys.
Bye.